It's another beautiful day in South Africa's most magnificent town. Come with me on a journey through time and explore the Cape Dutch quarters of historic Tulbagh in the Cape Winelands of South Africa.
This series will take you on an intimate tour through the historic buildings and museums in the street, village and the valley beyond. So, if you love beautiful old architecture, gorgeous interiors, art, antiques and collectibles, then you're going to enjoy this journey. Today, we are going to visit Tulbagh Country Guest House at 24 Church Street to inspect a cabinet of curiosities and collectibles. The display cabinet is a reproduction of a traditional 18th century Baroque design. It is made of stinkwood, identifiable by the golden mottled colouring, which is so different to the cheaper and darker Meranti wood that was so popular in the 20th century. Notice how the shape of the glass panes in the door emphasises the same concave convex contour of the top gable.
The top shelf of this cupboard contains a collection of KLM gin bottles which were given away to first-class passengers after 1952.
Since the first issue in 1952, KLM continues to issue a new house each year to mark the anniversary of the airline, and around 850,000 houses continue to be made each year with just over 100 different house designs. For good reason, these houses have become incredibly popular with collectors. Unfortunately, due to the modern production of the little houses, the handmade quality of the later editions has deteriorated, with later examples lacking the artistry, subtlety and collectability of earlier ranges. Each unique house is a replica of an actual house in Amsterdam, which is of special cultural and architectural interest. Each bottle is identified by a number on its base, which relates to an online catalogue and details of the actual building that the bottle is based upon. I've been collecting these bottles for 20 years already and hope to have a little Delft village quite soon. The second shelf has 3 Vietnamese reproduction antique opium pipes that we bought during our honeymoon a decade ago. Here are a few silver ornaments that I grew up with, including an unpolished tea set and these very common pheasants, which are of sentimental value. Perhaps out of place in this cupboard are these mid-century porcelain Creole sets, which are somewhat kitsch, but I find them adorable. My favourites are the Chinese man carrying baskets of salt and pepper, and the brewer with his 2 barrels of the same. To be worthy of collecting, it's important that all pieces are undamaged and come complete on their original base. Most sentimental to me is this Royal Dalton Bulldog with the Union Jack over its back. My late mother was a British-born Anglophile and she loved this classic piece of post-war Winston Churchill iconography. The bottom 2 shelves contain interesting items salvaged by my father in the 1980s during his illustrious career as a wreck salvager and treasure hunter. These items were saved by my mom, who prevented my dad, who deemed them to be rubbish, from throwing them back overboard into the sea. Amongst the rusty bolts and nails that used to hold wooden ships together, there are parts of engines of old sail ships and steamers. Everyone's favourite is the sword handle, all that remains after the blade rusted away after centuries underwater. I love these 17th to 19th century ginger jars, which continue to turn up in historic landfills and antique stores. Originally containing pickled ginger, they were imported from China for centuries by the Dutch and the English. The decoration on each jar always shows a boat on a lake near a house, although sometimes this is clear and other times cryptic.
These ceramic shards have been dug out of our vegetable garden at the end of the road. They contain bits of English, Dutch and even Chinese porcelain. The new shards turn up continuously and every day we unearth a few pieces more,